Good evening, Flosstube. It is Mandy coming to you with another update. You can find me here on Flosstube and on Instagram at StitchingBee82. I appreciate everyone checking me out. So if you are new, welcome. Thank you for pressing play, and hope you'll stick around. And for those returning, I really appreciate everyone returning. So today is Friday, September 14th. I just looked at the, I'm sorry, wow, where did I go? September 18th, and Flosstube number 21. So I've had a pretty good week. Not a whole lot of stitching on a couple of days, just there was one night that I really didn't do a whole lot. I think I ended up taking a nap after work and was distracted, so I really didn't get anything done. Another night I went and spent some time with my mom, so just ended up, by the time I got home, I was ready to finish up a book, and so I got to reading that and just never picked up stitching. But last night, man, I got a lot of stitching done. I got a part of the caterpillar cross stitch done, so I'll show you that here in a minute. And I wasn't planning on stitching on that all evening. I was actually gonna just to spend a little bit more time and then go over to my eagles, and I kept stitching, and then I realized how close I was to getting a part done that I had to just keep stitching that. So I did want to just let everyone know, because I've gotten asked a couple of times, this eagle right back here is actually a jigsaw puzzle that has been glued and put together. My sister glued it and framed it and everything. She obviously knows my love of eagles. I've actually had this longer than I've been stitching on my Heaven and Earth piece, so love it. It's big, it's over my couch, so I've had a few people ask, so I figured I'd let everyone know that that's a jigsaw puzzle. So not a stitched or anything. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get right into my whips. I've got 4 whips to show today. No haul. I've actually didn't get anything in. I've done a little bit of shopping, so hopefully next week or 2 I'll have that stuff. But for today, it's just a few whips to show. So the first one that I will share is my piece for the Magazine Monthly Challenge Facebook group, and that is out of the Fall 2015 Cross Stitch and Needlework. I've shown this a number of times, and so the artwork is by Kathleen Berlew, and it is called Falling Leaves. Very pretty piece. And this is stitched on a piece of 16 count Picture This Plus in Fresco. And so since you saw it last, I just put in some more of these bubbles of color. So, very pretty piece. Stitching up really quickly. It doesn't take a whole lot to be able to put in a couple of those little colors there. And I did start looking through the magazines for the October. They released the design, the category for October is to be something spooky or scary. Doesn't necessarily have to be a Halloween piece, you know, something that has, you know, that's kind of daunting and scary in that aspect. So if you have something specialty stitches, you know, something of that nature would be scary. But I probably am going to end up going with something Halloween. I've got a really pretty piece of Picture This Plus. I don't remember the name of it. I know I showed it early on in some haul. I don't have it handy at the moment, but so it's a piece screaming for Halloween. So I'll have to go back through my Halloween magazines to see. I've got a number of the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issues that there's some little pieces in there, you know, kind of smalls that will probably go perfect on that material. So the next piece, I will put a picture in here of the whole piece. This is Minnie the Stitching Moon from Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Last Saturday, I couldn't seem to get settled on really stitching anything, so I think I was just sitting here watching a bunch of Flosstube, and I'd put a few hundred stitches into a piece. All right, ready to move on. Put in a few more 100 stitches, ready to move on. So I think I worked on 3 different projects and put in about 300 to 400 stitches each. So yeah, just couldn't decide what I wanted to work on, so I finally decided to pull this out. So I am using mini stitching moon for one of the National Parks challenges in the Full Coverage Fanatics group, and I've barely put, I think before I picked this up that day, I had like 1,200 stitches left in whatever park that it was that I was working on. So again, each park you stitch 4,000 stitches and then there's 25 parks. Last count, I think I have 11 parks completed. And so I was looking through, I tracked the few few projects that I have started on other parks that are not my Eagles, and see if I can start whittling away on some of those, just so I can try to get those done. Little mini goals. So for now, my progress. I am working away on page 9 of this, I think. I think this may be page 10 now that I think about it. So this little color here, I think it's actually her leg that's kind of sitting out. It's kind of a flush color there. So since that last I just started filling in. Again, I think I worked on about 300 stitches or so and started getting through that. So actually, I do have a little bit of haul, but nothing really to show. Heaven and Earth had their special services turned off for a while Michelle was fixing that whole 0809 coloring issue that they had there, and they turned those on. So I bought the paper pattern of this, and I got, so I've just been working off of working copies from that. And all of my other stuff, so I know I've said before, I don't use Pattern Keeper, but I do use, I use the Books app on my iPad, and so I can be able to, blow those up. Well, when I decided to go back to this one, which is on a paper pattern, I couldn't believe how tiny, like I use the large print patterns, first of all. I couldn't imagine using a paper of the regular charts, but so I'm using the large print pattern, and I just couldn't believe how tiny the boxes seem to be. So Michelle finally posted that they were turning the special services back on. I immediately jumped over and bought the, you can upgrade from a paper pattern that you purchased with your order number, $10 to get a PDF copy versus the, $18, $19 full price, when there's not a sale or whatever. So I went ahead and did that. I haven't actually received that by email yet. No hurry. I know it said that it would take 24 to 48 hours or something like that. So I'm sure it'll show up in my email at some point. But that'll be great to be able to get pulled over into iBooks, just so I can be able to, kind of expand those symbols a little bit, because I couldn't believe how small it was. So that's probably one of the big reasons why I ended up moving on from this again. I couldn't believe how tiny, which is funny because since I actually started working on my Eagles with a paper pattern, it was just when I got my iPad that I decided I'll go ahead and switch over to the electronic copying, following your pattern and everything, figured out how that all works. And so I've just been doing that since like page 37 or something, and so I'm on page, what did I say the other day, 44 now. So I haven't really been using the electronic stuff all that long, but apparently it's gotten me spoiled, so we did get that. So yeah, that was Mini Stitching Moon by Aimee Stewart. And then the next one, I'll put in another picture here. This is the Positivity Rules Sal from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and the picture that I'll put in here is including part 4. I just finished part 3 last night, so I'm a little bit behind. Part 5, and I believe it is the final part, will be available at the end of this month. So got a little bit of time. And the that last portion wasn't huge. Like portion 3 seemed to have a large section of stitching, so but part 4 shouldn't take all that long. So here we go. And this is stitched on 16 count pink Aida. I know it's really not looking, it's looking white more than anything, but it's a super soft pink. If you think of the DMC color 819, it's pretty much about what color we're looking at here. So since you saw it last, I finished up, I don't think I showed any of having this side of the roof done. So last night I finished up the roof, did the chimney, the stars, and the moon. That chimney is so cute. There's like 3 different colors making up the brick and then the mortar. So again, because of being off here, it set everything else off, and so including the chimney, there was a couple stitches that I just made it work, and I'm perfectly fine with it. At a glance, you wouldn't even know it, unless even if you had the pattern, you probably wouldn't even pick up on. So I'm okay with that. The colors in the moon are so pretty. I think this last blue is one of the 3800s, so really pretty. No clue what I'm gonna do with this piece when I'm done, but I'm really enjoying it. So that's that one. And then the last piece that I have to show, of course, because I show it all the time, or weekly, is my eagles. This is Together We Stand by Jody Bergsma. I know when I go to put in pictures and stuff, I realize that I don't always say the name of this. I guess I'm just so used to calling it my eagles. But proper name is Together We Stand, artwork by Jody Bergsma, charted by Michelle at Heaven and Earth. And I'll have included the full picture here so you can see. Not a whole lot of change since last time you saw it, but I am plugging away on that page when I figure out 44, I think it is. So working away at that star that's just about finished up. And so yeah, I don't remember how many more stitches I have to go wide, but not too much more for this particular page. So out of 49 pages, I'm working on page 44, so I'm definitely on a roll. So it's kind of funny seeing my Time Hop pictures, if you have that app, where it shows you posts that you've made in previous years. Gosh, I want to say it was 4 or 5 years ago now. It might have been 5. If you remember a couple of videos, I had a really pretty fractal shown behind me over my shoulder. So that I cross-stitched, I finished it about, it was 2015 or 2016. I want to say it was almost, I think it was actually 2015, so it would have been 5 years ago. That seems like I was right about the same. While that picture is smaller in terms of page count, I feel like I was right about the same, like, number of pages, kind of at the same time, where I'm, you know, pushing into that finish. So I know I finished it in the fall of that year. So no clue when I'll get the eagles done. I am trying to push to have it done by the end of this year, but, you know, no deadline or anything of that nature. So it's just a matter of when do I want to get it done. When can I get it done? I got Stitches checking me out beside me, wondering what I'm doing, I'm sure. So that's about it for me. I still keep wanting to get back to doing those little magazine, not the magazine, it's from the magazines, but the hands-on design year celebration, the little monthly pieces that I showed a couple of videos ago. I still want to start getting one of those stitched up, so that may be a project this weekend at some point, and start pulling some colors for like a September, October one, and see if I can get one of those stitched up. They really don't take a whole lot of time. It's just, I gotta put, you know, one project down to be able to start another one. So I am going to be looking for something for October. There is going to be a birthday sale that I'll be participating in. Laura from Stitching by the Shore. I'll link her below. Great videos. She's got some really cute projects. Her birthday is in October, and she has started or she's going to be doing I think it's pumpkin birthday sale, birthday pumpkin. I'll get the hashtag and I'll put it below. So I'll be finding something with a pumpkin. I know there's a number of pumpkin sales going on, but I'd like to help support her with her birthday sale. I know I've got a couple of pumpkin pieces that I'll be pulling out for that. So, but yeah, that's as far plans as I've even considered. So I've looked at through the magazines and found a couple that I've thought about doing. So we'll see. But quick one tonight. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Friday evening and a great weekend. Hope you have lots of stitching time. And with that, I think I will call it done, and we'll see you guys next week. So take care.